to make one of these ribbon flower hair combs, you're going to need a comb, a feather, some of the silver sparkle ribbon, 2 different shades of pink, and one is in a 25mm and the other's in 16. You're going to need some pins and a needle and some thread. And once you've got those, you're ready to start. Begin by measuring just over a metre of this 16mm ribbon. That'll give you approximately 11 petals. If you want the roses smaller, you just cut it shorter. Now, when I said that this was ribbon roses with a twist, I wasn't kidding, because this is a different way from any other ways that I've made them before. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to start by twisting the ribbon over like that, and then pulling it through, and you'll end up with a knot. Push it as close to the start of the ribbon as you can. Now, I found that the best way to make sure that the knots stay in place and then makes life easier when you actually do the ribbons afterwards, out of the way, is to put pins in, okay, hence the pins. Right, now once you've done your one, you're then going to tie another one, and you're going to make a series of knots along this ribbon until you get to the end. What you will notice, and don't be fazed by this at all, is that quite often they'll end up with one petal up and one petal down. This is quite normal. I don't think it happens very often that you get them all going the same way, but what you do when you actually make the flower is that you will twist them so that they will be in the right direction. Okay, see what I mean? One up, one down. But then putting these in, these pins in, makes life easier for you. And I'll do one more over your fingers like that, like that. Don't pull them tight. It's the only thing, don't pull them tight, just leave a little tiny gap between them. Plenty of pins, ladies, and off you go. And I shall be back in a second when they're all done. Okay, so now we're back. I've done all of my Right, now then, as you are going along, make sure that you twist your petals upwards in the same direction every time, so that you can then go round with your ribbon. A couple of stitches here and there is all that you need, preferably with cotton that doesn't knot as you're going along, even better. Take your pins out. Check the other side as well. Now, no one's going to see these stitches, so you don't have to be too delicate and careful, because they're going to be hidden inside this. And so it doesn't really matter. No one's going to see them, because afterwards we're going to cover that with a piece of cotton as well. Cotton, I mean ribbon. Right, so you just keep on going, and when I've got to the end, I'll come back and show you what to do next. Right, when you get to this point and you've got about 3 petals left, make sure that when you roll it gently so that you are happy with the final shape of your rose. Okay, and you can then, if you like, manipulate it gently so that everything fits into place, and then you're happy with what you've got at the end. Okay, so I'll sew all of that together. That's just how it's looking at the back. I'll sew it all together, and then we'll finish it off by tucking that underneath to hide this. You can trim this off a little bit as well if you like. Back in a Right, once you've sewn it all around, all I did was tuck a little bit of ribbon underneath and sew that to close it all off, make it a little bit neater. Then, if you want your rose to be a bit more open, just manipulate the petals a little bit. The tighter you roll this rose as you sew it, the smaller your bud is going to be. Now, the difference between this rose and this one, right, these are the same as that one. The difference is nothing other than the size of the ribbon. So this rose, as you know, was made with 16mm, and a much bigger rose in the centre is made with 25mm. So that's the method is exactly the same. All you do is do your knots and do your twisting and your sewing, and you're there. Next, I'm going to show you how to make these little frilly things out of ribbon. And all you need is a length of ribbon. I cut these about 25 centimetres, and we'll start off by putting a stitch in there to hold it, and then you don't want them all the same length. You can have 3 different lengths, just putting a stitch through to hold it, and then you do your third one. This is lovely ribbon because it holds its shape, you know, it's got a little bit of stiffness in it. So let's make that longer. There we are. And then you just put a stitch in the back of that one as well. Quite difficult doing this. I've got the camera between myself and the ribbon. There we are. Okay. And if you don't want to put it on a headband, you could just do a few of these and just put it on a brooch back, and that looks pretty as well. That's nice for a wedding too. So then you do those, make about 3 of them. I made 3 for this. And put the 3 there. Make 3. If you're actually going to do the hair comb, you need to make 3 of those. 3 of these, sorry. 2 small and 2 larger roses, and then a piece of feather. Now I use these feathers. They come in all different shapes and sizes in the Marabou feather packs, and I used the shorter one because I thought it was just right on there. Sew the feather on first, just a couple of stitches to sew it on, and then place your ribbons wherever you want them. Your flower, and then you can do that if you want to. If you don't want anything else, just you know, just that little bit on the comb and nothing else, and you've got a very pretty little comb. So, hope you enjoyed that, and that's how you end up with a hair decoration like that. Thanks very much for watching. All of the information and where to buy the ribbon and the hair combs is all on the information below the video. Thanks very much.